Everybody talks about having talented people in their business, but there's almost no information on how to really build a team of high performers. That's why I want to show you how to use the belt system that can help you achieve exactly that and fast. Here you have multiplier, adder, subtractor, and divider. This is one of my best developments in people management in 30 years. It is a shortcut. You may have heard the story where I almost had my company hijacked by someone who tried to incite essentially a mutiny in the company, and she tried to take over my company. This is because I hadn't realized that she's what we call a divider. Every team member can be put into these categories. They are multiplier, adder, subtractor, and divider. Let's start with the easy ones, adders and subtractors. An adder is a person who does their job. They could be very good at their job, excellent, amazing at their job, or just kind of good at their job. The point is they're doing their job, and they are a net positive to the company. A subtractor might be doing their job, but they're doing it in a way that is like inefficient, or they're below standards, they're below par. They could be made into an adder by some training and working with them. The vast majority of your team will be adders and subtractors, and we want to get rid of as many subtractors as we can, either coach them up to be adders or move them on to other positions. So the vast majority will be adders and subtractors. There are a few outliers, though. We call them multipliers and dividers. A multiplier, it's not about their own work. It's do they make other people on your team better? Really important distinction. So my chief of staff is a multiplier. She makes other people better. She helps them do their best. She is one of these rare people where she makes other people better at their jobs. And a multiplier doesn't have to be in a leadership role. You can have a multiplier who is an individual contributor, but how she lends help to other team members makes them do a better job. That's what a multiplier's definition is, because you have a multiplicative effect of that person. They are making the organization even better than if they alone did an awesome job. They're helping other people do an awesome job. And those are rare, and they should be treasured. And you should find out what they really want about their career, and you should help them with that, because it will pay back in spades, because multipliers are amazing. Then we have the divider, and that's what this person I talked about with a mutiny was. A divider is someone who sows dissension. Essentially, they are making people dissatisfied. They're trying to rile them up. They're saying, well, we should get this, or I don't like this. Now, that's distinct from saying, I think there's a problem, we should solve it, here's how I propose to solve it. It's essentially trying to create a disconnect between leadership and individual contributors, or they're just constant negativity, or people just don't want to deal with them. That is a divider. And if someone is a divider, I have one recommendation, and that is to fire them instantly. It is toxic. If someone is dragging other people down, whether it's emotionally, whether it's work product, that is a divider, and that should just go away, because you will chase off your multipliers if you let dividers stay at the company. Do not do it. So this tool here, you'll list all of your team members, and then you'll look for the red ones, and the red ones are the first thing you should address, because those might be the people you need to get rid of. And it's the first and most important thing is to get rid of the negativity, to get rid of the underperformers, to get rid of the people who they aren't a good fit for your organization. They may have an awesome future somewhere else, but they're not a fit for you. You can wish them well, even if they are not a good fit for you, and you can be helpful for them getting the next role at some other company, but they're not a fit for you. Get them out. They will drive out your A players. So your first job is to flush them out. Your second job is to make sure that all of your multipliers feel loved and are taken care of. And if you do those two things, your management will become so much easier. True, you have to work with the subtractors and say, am I going to try to coach this person up? Or am I going to say, you know what, it's probably not a good fit, let's find a path out. Adders, they're great. They're the bread and butter of the company. But first, look at the outliers, because they will have a disproportionate effect on the company. So that is the Team Fit Grader. It's a very important tool. It's typically for the CEO, the leader of the company, to do this, because again, you are the keeper of the culture. It is available as a free download below this video, like everything else, and you can get a copy of this, and so you can just color code your company super easy. Next system, the Team Elevation System. I love this one. It comes from Jesse Pujji. His Twitter is there on this slide, so all credit for the concept goes to him. I took that concept and I modified it to gamify it, make it more fun, make it a little more interesting in terms of how it's presented, but I don't want to take the credit for inventing this, so all credit to Jesse. So what is this belt system? How are we going to use this? It is a way to discuss how team members are getting better and more independent at their jobs. The goal of this, the goal of you building a company, is to make that machine that is an asset for you and spits off cash flow. As a leader, your job is to elevate your team and to not be having to be in the day-to-day touching everything. Because if you're touching everything, you can't focus on strategy and nobody wins, right? You might think that, oh, well, I'm in the trenches with my team. Yeah, sort of, kinda, but it's not the same. If you are too far in the trenches, you're not going to have the mental space to think of strategy and think of big picture things which will actually take the company to the next quantum leap and allow your team to elevate themselves because the company is elevating. You might stay small and you will stay with a small ambitions because you are stuck in the everyday. But by using this system, you are going to help team members elevate their own performance to not need constant supervision, and therefore you're going to be freed up to do bigger and bigger things so the company can have a bigger and bigger future, so that you can give them a bigger and bigger future. Your team can come along and expand their capabilities as well. So that's what the belt system is for. What we're going to do is, in this belt system, during your reviews of your team members or your leadership reviewing them, you're going to evaluate them. And entry-level people are very much, maybe it's their first job, etc. It's like, just tell me what to do, right? If you think about that, that's a very entry-level thing. Tell me what to do. But a very senior person, like a CEO talking to the board of directors, they report, here's what I've been doing. But that's not just the two levels of things. There's a continuum, there's a spectrum of tell me what to do, all the way up to here's what I've been doing. All right, and there are levels of mastery that come along with each one. And what this belt system does is it helps you articulate where someone is in the journey from an entry level to CEO level. Now, everything you need is my 7 systems that I use to manage my team effectively. And I talk about that in this video right here.